In this video, we're gonna take a close look at Figma Veronica Sweetheart by Good Smile Company. This Figma flexes new and improved joints with transparent parts and accessories. But are these features actually enough to make it huge? Join me in this review to see if this flex can put Figma back on top with other brands. In the end, I'm gonna decide whether she's worth keeping as part of my collection or not. By the way, my name is Al and I've been collecting toys on and off for 9 years now. This channel, Studio Aureal, is where I share my thoughts on action figures and other topics related to toy collecting. To be honest, I don't know much about this figure line, and I didn't bother getting the first two bunny suit planning Figmas. With this one, I'm mainly curious about the new double-jointed legs and torso joints, and I dig how her face looks. If in case you're wondering how can this be armor, I know it's weird, but in Japanese games, manga and anime, it seems the less cover you have, the stronger your armor is. I know it doesn't make sense, so let's just check what's inside. While I'm opening the box, make sure to check my affiliate links on the description down below. Like, share, and comment to help push my channel up the algorithm. Subscribe if you haven't already for more videos like this one. Inside the box is a cardboard insert with some details and a bit of backstory for the character. This red bikini is a test armor and Veronica loves testing new stuff. We also get an art card tape at the back. One side shows the artwork for her while the other side shows her pattern weapons. This is a nice way to introduce an unknown character. We also have the usual instruction manual. One side is in English while the other side is in Japanese. Figma zip bag, and the pack containing the clear stand, alternate hands, and spare hand joint. If you pre-ordered Veronica in the Good Smile Company online shop, you will get a bonus red stand. She's well protected in a plastic case and wrapping to prevent damage. At first glance, I definitely love how she looks. The clear parts are glossy and the paint scheme looks really saturated. She feels balanced on my hands and she smells like how a fresh Figma should. Plasticky. Now we're ready to go into the details. Veronica wears a red suit with armor on her arms and legs. It has clear red, gold, and red metallic parts and seems heavily inspired by mecha. The colors remind me of Sinanju from Gundam Unicorn, and if we're going to push it, she has the same features as Chara's Navel. Her face looks cute with detailed blue eyes, and I love the reddish highlights on her eyes and cheeks. Her blonde hair has a pinkish gradient towards the tips, and I like how it flows in curls. Her bunny ears look more like mecha antenna, and it's attached to a headband. She has what seems like an epaulette or shoulder armors, and warning signs are printed on the side like a mech suit. I don't think there's anything underneath the bikinis in case you're curious. There's an armor piece with a peg hole at the back, and here you can see the butt cheeks sculpted with the thighs. The shape of her tummy is not fully muscular but definitely has shape, and there's a soft touch to her curves even on the articulated parts. Her leg armor also has clear gold and red metallic parts, and she has new double joints which you can see here. This is definitely mecha inspired with the addition of boosters on both sides of her thighs just above the knees. Her high heels look more mecha than human. As usual with Figma, there are some paint imperfections here and there, but these are too small to notice while you're holding her. I can't find any glaring error on the finish, and mold lines are almost non-existent unless you really look for it. Overall, the concept isn't new. She's a mecha girl with a bunch of cool weapons. We've seen this design before with slight variations with Frame Arms Girls, Megami Device, and even Gunpla. Figma Veronica Sweetheart is definitely an eye candy. I can't say the same to the whole bunny suit planning line though, so if you guys have either version of Sophia, let me know what you think, but overall I think Veronica looks better. Her head can do a full 360 at the base, but the neck is static. Her head can swivel side to side. Her bunny ears can swing up and down. She can look down not much and look up this much. Her hair can go up and down and side to side at the back, and these parts are soft. Her arms can swing to the side to make a T-pose, but not as much because of the shoulder armor. The armor has no articulation. Shoulders have full rotation, so this compensates the side-to-side limitation. Just be aware that the arm guards tend to fall off easily when posing. Her upper arms rotate near the shoulders and also on the armored part. This part of the armor can swivel, same as the hands, which can also rotate. Arms can bend more than 90 degrees, and this is how it looks like at the back. Her torso can move side to side this much, but doing so will expose the joints from the side. Her lower torso joints has a swivel and peg, and it can rotate more if you pull it out a bit. She can bend forward this much, and bend back this much. Bending forward will expose the joints at the back as usual, and ab crunch looks like this at the front. Her hips has enough movement to showcase her curves. There's a hinge for side-to-side movement and a peg for forward and back motion. She can do a full side-to-side split, and legs can move forward and back quite good. She has thigh rotation. She has double-jointed legs which allows for a good knee bend, and this is how it looks like at the front. Her knee armor can swivel a bit. Her feet connects to a ball joint so it swivels side to side, forward and back, and has full rotation. Her toes or the bottom part of her high heels also moves with a ball joint. Lastly, the boosters on her thighs can rotate. The articulation needs to be appreciated along with the sculpt, specifically the torso and hips. Her bikini is well incorporated into the sculpt, so despite the moving parts, it keeps the curve and shape of the female body. Now, the new double-jointed knees doesn't offer greater movement when compared to Figma's older joints, but we get a smoother, more streamlined silhouette from top to bottom. The arms can't go all the way up from the side, but you can pose her with arms up by rotating the shoulders, so it's fine for me. Overall, I love the torso sculpt. She can do what Figmas usually can in terms of movement, but there's nothing mind-blowing either. Moving on to the accessories, she has a total of 4 faceplates. A smiling face looking ahead, a somewhat whistling face looking to her left, a shouting fighting face looking to her right, and a blushing, seemingly defeated face. To put this on, remove the hair part, replace the faceplate with the one you like, and put the hair part back on. She has 5 pairs of hands, a pair of closed fists, a pair of holding hands for the swords, holding hands for the axe guns, fully opened hands, and relaxed opened hands. To put this on, simply pull the unwanted hand and replace it with the one you like. She comes with a pair of potent crystal short swords with black gold handles and a clear red blade. To put it on, you need to pull the handle off the handguard, pass it through the holding hands, and put the handle back on. And it should look like this when she wields it. She also has a pair of potent crystal gun axes with the same theme. To put it on, you need to snake the other pair of holding hands through, which can be a bit tricky. Depending on how she holds them, they can function as a gun or an axe. She also has an arm gun, which you can swap with the arm guard. I prefer to use it as a blade though. Her weapons are somewhat modular, so the blade of the short swords can be connected to the axe guns too. Next is this huge tactical potent crystal blade, which is basically a bastard sword. The handle comes off so you can pass it through the holding hands and have her wield it. One downside to this is that the hands can't hold the huge sword up at certain angles, so you have to be patient. Meanwhile, these mechanical parts connect to a peg hole on her back. It needs a bit of assembly, and it has rotation and swivel function. This is where you can mount the short swords and the huge bastard blade. Before I forget, the boosters on her legs can be detached and the axe or the swords can be connected in its place. The same goes for the mechanical mount on her back, so you can basically mix and match what to store and the combination will be up to you. This modular approach to weapons adds a ton of playability. The way it can be customized with clear parts is very reminiscent of custom gunpla, specifically Gundam build fighters. Personally, the short swords and the arm gun are enough, and I don't feel like I'm going to use the axe guns a lot. Or maybe I could just store the swords in the box instead and have the axe guns out. Either way, it's always good to have options. She also has a good amount of faceplates, which is somewhat unusual with Figma, but I'm not complaining. By the way, she also comes with a spare hand joint and the usual Figma stand you can assemble. As a Good Smile Company bonus, we also get a larger base plate, which I think is better than the smaller one. Overall, I love the accessories she has. The weapons are a bit too much for me, but then again, they offer loads of playability, and allowing you to customize is a huge plus. Figma Veronica Sweetheart stands at around 15 centimeters in height, which makes her around 5 foot 10 inches tall in real life. Adding up her ears, we get a total height of 17 centimeters. Here's how she stands with Snail Shell's Bunny Girl Eileen and V-Toy's Red Demon Asura. You can notice how Veronica's hips are shaped more naturally when compared to Eileen. Here's how she looks beside Mafex 185 Spider-Man and Sentinel Peter B. Parker. Here's Reveltech Agent Venom on the left and Sentinel Spider-Man Noir on her right. Here's my custom Ghost of Kurosawa action figure and Numinos, both of which are from Devil Toys. Here's SH Figuarts Anya Forger and Spider-Punk. Lastly, here's Figma Ronin and Samurai from the False Lander line. You can see that Veronica is thicker than both of them. Veronica is taller than the usual Figma and will be at the same height as most 6-inch or 1:12 scale action figures. She will pretty much blend well with other brands, and you can experiment using her weapons with other characters. Figma flex what they're good at with this figure. The paint quality is superb, and the faceplates are spot on. The clear parts are a showcase of what they can do, while the new leg and torso joints improve the overall silhouette. The mecha vibes and bikini are exciting, but it's not an armor at all, so depending on your own personal tastes, you'll either like the concept or hate it. You can see the softness in the anatomy, which is hard to portray on a solid material, especially this small. Curves look good whichever angle you look at, despite all the moving parts. This can be attributed to the sculptor Naoki Sato and the artist Nadare Takamine, and I think that's what makes this figure stand out. I guess the major letdown is that parts tend to come off while posing, like the bunny ears and the clear parts on the arm. This can be really annoying, especially if it bounces off or falls down the floor. Overall, I'd say Veronica Sweetheart is a niche figure and character. She's an eye candy for sure, and if you like her vibes, go get one. However, the pros are not enough to make me commit 100% to the bunny suit planning line, and I don't think she's something I'll keep for a long time. Let me know in the comments what you think, and check the video at the end if you want to see more of my reviews. This is Studio Aureal, and I'll see you on the next one.